Okay, hello and welcome back to the Novice Lumberjack, where we're coming at you with some more great whack-off action with round 2 of the Horizontal Hustle Rancher Edition, featuring the Husqvarna 50, 51, and 55 Rancher. In round 2 here, we're going to be concentrating on the Midwest region of our bracket. We got Ben Schroeder, Bill Huskamp, Cutter Snodgrass, Garrett Barker with his small saw, right? He's got 2 saws in this competition. Matt House, Richard Flagg, and Robin Walter. So, without further ado, let's get right to it.
Benjamin Schroeder. Garrett Barker.
Oh, we got Benjamin Schroeder and Garrett Barker here. We have no need for the stock saw in this bracket because there was enough competitors, and so we get right to it. And really close, but it looks like Garrett Barker squeaks out the win on that just barely. Wow, close. Now on the upcut, or the tug up as I like to call it. Again, everything's really close, but it looks like the Schroeder saw, oh, he cut out a little bit, but you know what? I don't give a shit. This ain't a real competition. He was still cutting wood, and Schroeder got that one. And it's 26:30 to 26:46. Man, these races they can be really close.
This one's Robin Walters with Triple S Performance.
All right, this is Robin Walter going up against Benjamin Schroeder. Again, very close. But we got Robin Walter coming out to the lead right there. Again, very close, but it's looking like, oh, Ben Schroeder got it. So we'll have to go to the ticker and see what the times are. 26:30 to 25:87. So yeah,
this is for Bill.
Robin
Huskamp.
Walter took it. Here we go against Bill Huskamp. This Bill Huskamp saw is one of the giveaway saws, as well as the Garrett Barker small saw. Again, very close, but yep, Bill Huskamp squeaks out the win right there. That's almost a full second. That's a nice win. Here we go for the tug up. Boom. Did it again, 2 cuts in a row. Let's see what the ticker says. Ooh, over a 2-second lead, which is really good. That's a consistent 1 second faster per cut, pretty much. All right.
Woo. Woo.
Curtis Snodgrass.
Curtis Snodgrass, here you go.
All right, here we go, here we go. Oh, looks like the Snodgrass saw is definitely faster. And it is, yes. See how it goes on the tug up. A little bit closer on this one, it seems. But the Snodgrass saw comes out on top. For a total of 2370 with the Huskamp and 2270 for the Snodgrass saws.
Last but not least,
And Richard Flagg. Here we go. That was the last saw of the day. That's why he said last but not least. Holy guacamole. Look at that Richard Flagg saw go. Jeez. Beat it handily. Whoa.
Damn! That thing's fast.
it is fast.
That's an open port
I guess
cylinder?
Boedy liked
This
that.
is the Trailer Park 346
All right, here's the
XP
Matt
by
House
Matt
Trailer
House.
Park 346 XP.
Trailer Park 346 XP.
He calls it this because it's got some of the parts from 346 XP, sort of, kind of. Oh, now this is more like it. This is a nice close race, but boy, it looks like that Richard Flagg saw is still going to take it. Oh! I don't want to say that's an upset, but that's kind of an upset. I think a lot of people were expecting, I guess people weren't expecting Richard Flagg's saw to be that fast. It's not that the Matt House saw is slow. Both of those saws are really cooking through the wood. But man, that came out of left field there with the Richard Flagg saw. So he is your winner of the Midwest region. And let's go to Boedy and see what he has to say about it. Yes, that Richard Flagg saw surprised the shit out of me. And those guys had to hear it off camera quite a bit. I was like, no kidding, man, no kidding. That thing was fast. Anyways, and the reason it surprised me so much, I mean, I think it surprised Richard too. I mean, I know he had ran it and he was like, wow, that thing is spicy or whatever. But it's just a basic setup, you know. I mean, when this is over with, we're going to take a real nice little look at some of the, you know, the Final Four winners and stuff, and see what was done. But basically, Richard just did a basic port job and threw a big honking carburetor on it. And a timing advance from hell. I think he said he was like 15 degrees timing advance. Yeah, he had that thing. Now, he ain't going to win the best build because I could barely get that thing to stay running because the linkage on the carburetor was just terrible. And at idle, it just wanted to die. And so in order to keep it running, you had to be able to push the throttle, which you couldn't do unless you shoved your thumb at the linkage and then did this. So it was really tricky, you know. So you do that, and yay, thumbs up. I hate the thumbs up thing. But then you'd start it, right? And so, of course, your natural, very natural thing to do is to go, rin, 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 rin. Well, if you let too far off of it, that linkage would catch, and you couldn't trigger it back. So it was extremely difficult to operate. And, you know, Richard knows this, and it's like, yeah, that thing sucked. I mean, I don't care how fast it was. If you just simply was with your buddy and walked up to that wood and said, let's see who can cut through it faster, with that saw, you would lose because you couldn't get it to run. You know, your buddy would be with the stupid, you know, MS-170 and be able to beat you because his would actually run. But whenever you got it running, time in the wood, this is a unique competition. And, you know, like a couple of these saws, you can see they cut out. I don't care. I was still cutting wood. You know, this isn't a real race. You don't have to have a complete cookie. They were still cutting wood. So if any of you guys have a problem with that, I don't know, meet me out back. My competition, I don't care. They were still cutting wood. And anyways, but yeah, the Matt House saw ran really good. And I really was like, I thought for sure that was going to be in the Final Four. I was like, yeah, that's going to be in the Final Four. But, you know, hey, but it still ran really great, you know, really, really great. And I was impressed by it and impressed by how clean of a build it was and how, you know, it just ran perfect. You know, choke worked, you know, everything about it. Did I already mention my new hat? You like my new hat? I got it at a dealer. So, people, where'd you get that hat? And if you want to go to Bowden, Georgia, to a dealer there, you might be able to get another one. I don't know. Anyways, What else? The other saws that we had, they were all good. You know, they all had their strengths and everything. I feel like I particularly remembered the Triple S performance saws built by Robin Walter. It just felt good. It just felt strong. Obviously, it got beat by multiple saws, but it just felt good. So the overall time on that was 25:26, which honestly isn't much faster than stock. I think stock was right at 30 seconds. But it's hard to get these things fast. What it's not difficult to do is get them to run good. Or, they run good from the factory, and then you do a muffler mod, a little bit of a timing advance, maybe give it a little bit more compression, and they feel like a better saw to run. And so I want to make it clear with that, speed is not everything, as we see with the Richard Flagg saw. That thing was fast, like blazing fast, but stupid to run. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this version, or this round 2 of the horizontal hustle. What you can probably expect, is that next weekend, Friday will be round 3, Saturday will be round 4, and then Sunday we'll hit them with the final 4. That's probably what you can expect to see with these videos, because they're pretty big, and I want to keep them to the weekend where they'll get as much traffic as possible. And while I'm at it, I get a lot of emails, and hey, I don't answer, so I don't answer the emails. That's just me. You probably don't like that. I'm certain you don't. But that's just it. If I answered every email and every message and every phone call that I got, I wouldn't have any time in my life. And you have to unplug. And I recommend it for everybody. This social media and any sort, YouTube is sort of a social media. Yeah, you have to be able to just step back, step away. And that's going to disappoint some people, because some people ask me questions, and yeah, I read them all. I just don't answer. And you may not understand that, but you ever had 10,000 subscribers? It's just like, nah, I ain't got time for that. It's not to get anything against you. It's just, I ain't got time for that shit. But if you're watching this video, know that, yeah, I'm getting your emails. I'm just not answering them because personal space, I need my personal space. Like a great example is a lot of people ask me a lot of questions about the Zenoa clones. The original Chinese clones, the 4800, 5200, 5800, 6200, those clone saws. I ain't got time for that shit. I ain't got time for it. Figure it out the same way that I figured it out. Go to the Facebook groups. That is the best place, because on the chainsaw repair, there you go. Chainsaw repair, chainsaw addicts. There are Facebook groups for Chinese clone saws specifically, and go there, ask your questions there. I get too many questions. I can't answer everybody's questions. Those are the new forums, the Facebook groups. Go there, ask your question. There's going to be somebody out of the thousands of people that doesn't mind answering your question. So, and there's so many intricacies back and forth with those Chinese saws. I don't know. I don't even know all the name brands, So I can't even. I can't even. But it looks like I might have be working with Pro Yama in the future. They've got a 68cc Zenoa clone, and I want to get it and see if it's actually 68 cc's. I know it's not even going to be 62, but I want to test that out. They might send me a couple saws and things, you know. And the saw, the 68 cc one, is $256. So I'm like, that's a big jump from the rest of them, you know. My Weimars was like 100. So why is this thing $256? So we got to look into that. Anyway, oh, last but not least, for those who stuck in, right, here it is. Nobody has guessed even the final four, let alone the appropriate order in which the final four is. No one has guessed. So you've already got two now. You know that Richard Flagg is in it and that Dino Joe is in it. Who the other who the other two people are, right, is still, we don't know. So you've got until Friday at 6 p.m., this coming Friday. So what would that be? I don't know. Today's the March the 24th. This coming Friday. Put it in the comments on the videos. But it's just easier, and it's better for the videos too, to have the comments. But you have until Friday to pick the final four. And the first three people to pick the correct final four, right? It doesn't matter what order they're in, just who is going to the final four. You'll get prizes. The first person will get the faster of the two Husqvarna 55 giveaway saws. The second person will get the slower of the two Husqvarna 55 giveaway saws. The third person is going to get a Alaskan sawmill. So put them in the comments. First person to guess them, first three people to guess the final four will win those prizes. And, oh, I'll give you a hint. We have a legit Cinderella story. If you know anything about the actual March Madness and Final Four, the big dance for college basketball that's going on right now, right? If you know anything about it, then you know what a Cinderella story is. Well, we have a legit Cinderella story. Somebody that nobody's going to see. It's going to blindside, and you're going to be like, what? All right, so there's your hint. So, later.